So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. This is the current Apple iPhone lineup, and this is the older iPhone lineup now. So here's Apple's older lineup, and you could see, look at the variation on the sizes here. For just last year versus 2018, you can see everything got larger, because if you look at this year, take a look, in 2017, you had a very small yet affordable cheap option here, depending on who you speak to, for the iPhone SE. The iPhone 7 and the 8 series were more of your medium size phone for people who didn't want the smallest, but they didn't want a super large device either. The iPhone 8 Plus was your phablet device of last year, which was your big option for iPhone. And then you had the sleek, slender, high-end premium with a combination of both large and small, you know, in one package in the iPhone 10. So the variation was there from the smallest or the lowest end to the highest end, and this allowed Apple to have many more customers who were able to purchase devices at the low end all the way up to the high end. But now this year, it seems like everything has moved over to more of just the high end. So what do you notice about the current iPhone lineup? You notice that the iPhone SE is no longer there. We already knew that, and in this video we're going to talk about why Apple should bring back the SE in the form of the SE 2. Okay, so I think the iPhone XS Max deserved to be here, as it's a larger version of the iPhone XS and 10. However, the price point did pull a lot of people away, not offering enough for that price point. But I think this is what should happen here. If things were to be my way, it would be like this. Okay, so the iPhone 7 right here can go away. The 7 and 7 Plus, yes, great phones, great value. Go get you one now if you're looking for an excellent value. But going forward, I don't think we need to see this one anymore, and I don't think we need to see the 8 and 8 Plus anymore. We can get rid of these. Although these are still great phones, we can get rid of these as well. And then we will bring a brand new iPhone SE 2 with a redesign, not super redesign, but definitely like an all glass back here on the rear. Get rid of these inserts, although that's the clean classic design. We'll make the whole back of this glass. Then what we'll do is we'll take the front and we'll extend the bezels out to be like the iPhone XR, which is going to give you a fully, you know, mostly all screen design. I don't think most people would care too much if there's a notch there. And then you'll have yourself something like a 4.5-inch display. Then you'll have the iPhone SE 2. You'll have the XR for people who want the, you know, bigger, but, you know, like the iPhone XS style design. And then you have a small option, and then you'll have plenty of variation here once again, and not overwhelming amount of options. You'll have 4 different options with plenty of variation. You have colors, you'll have a really small device, then you'll have a high-end premium iPhone XS for people who want a medium-sized device, and then you have a massively large iPhone XS Max. And I think right here we will have a super successful strategy. What are your thoughts? Do you think I'm wrong on this one? Let me know what lineup you think would succeed even more than the current one down below. So bringing back the SE2, I think, is a basically guaranteed success, because hundreds of millions of iPhones like this, the smaller version, and that's why people continue to click these videos anytime I mention the SE, is hundreds of millions of these things were sold. The people loved these devices right here. Also, they remind people of the older Apple, so that's a strong pull for your brand, because a lot of people still associate Apple with Steve Jobs. So this, you know, iPhone SE kind of, you know, had that classic DNA to it, and that's why it was a huge hit. And although Apple doesn't talk about it most, they know that the SE was a huge hit, but they're trying to move in a more, you know, kind of like the rest of the industry is going with the larger all-screen phones. But one thing we should note is that Apple kind of owns this small smartphone space. If they bring out another SE, there's nothing on the market that can compete with it. The SE would massively benefit from the new design of the iPhone XS series, for example, XR series, because the bezels on here, even if you extend them, it will still be an easy to reach affair here for the iPhone SE. I think it would benefit greatly from this new design, and I think this is something many of us have been wishing that we will see. And maybe if we make videos like this and many of you share it and get it around the internet, floating around, Apple see it, and maybe they'll think about if they made a mistake or not. Because if you take a look at any of my SE videos, you can see many people Many people want to see an upgrade to this if you take a look at the comment sections. Now, Apple, you don't even need to upgrade to the Apple A12. If you want to save some cash on the components, put an A11 in here. Nobody's really going to care if you get an A11. I mean, if you put it in within the next year or so, an A11 will still be just fine for the SE, and it'll massively improve the performance. We should go to 3 GB of RAM though. I would like to see 3 GB of RAM in the iPhone SE, and this thing will just fly. With a 4.4 to 4.5 inch display, that's probably what it would extend out if they did go all screen here. Also, Apple, let's not be afraid to lose our big phone market. I'm not sure if they feel this way or not, but I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that Apple thinks that if they continue up with a smaller iPhone, they're gonna just kill the sales of their big ones. And I don't think that's true, because there's many people who are even gonna comment in this video, give it a break, Nick. We don't wanna see the SE, showing you that the interest in small phones is not there for everyone. But what I am saying is giving people a choice of the smaller phone segment only extends the amount of fans you're gonna have. And a lot of people want the SE because of its price too, so that's making you lose a lot of fans to companies like Huawei, Xiaomi with the Poco phone, for example. Also, you know, OnePlus phones like this are, you know, eating into your fan base because you kind of like dropped phones like this, the iPhone SE right there. And also the SE would benefit greatly from some new cameras here on the back. These are pretty good, but the front one definitely needs an upgrade, and having the new camera like the one on the iPhone XR would just really put this phone head and shoulders above anything else that's a smaller phone, which is not much. You basically got the XZ2 compact, and that's about it. And lastly, I want to talk about the correct price point, at least from my point of view. That would be $449 to start at a 64 GB model, and then a $599 price point for a 256 GB model, or you can even go $549 for a 128, but nowhere above 600. If you keep it under 600 and lower, we have a hit here with the iPhone SE2. In conclusion, your fans are waiting, Apple. They are waiting for you to bring back the iPhone SE2, and many are going to disagree and say, no, I've moved on, I don't want that small phone anymore. But I think you might change your mind if you've seen an all-screen iPhone SE2 with this size, with about a 4.5 inch screen. That would be very intriguing, I think, for many. Remember, the whole point of a smartphone in the first place was to have power in a small package in your hand, not to be like a little big tablet walking around, you know, in your pocket. Heavy phones, I mean, this was the point of a smartphone in the first place, and now they're getting so large, it's like, why do we even need our tablets? Why do we even need our computers anymore? Having all these larger iPhones kind of makes the new iPhone lineup a little bit redundant. I think that's also hurting sales a little bit, because they're all pretty similar size here. I'm positive if the SE comes back in the form of an SE2 with a new redesign, it's gonna be a major hit. So I want you to do me a favor, share this video around the internet as much as possible on your social media, with your friends, family. Get it out there, get it around there, because the more we can make some noise about an SE2, maybe we'll see this phone. I mean, the perfect time to launch this thing would be right in the March quarter, right in a few months here. All these phones already came out, so they're not gonna really hurt the sales of what's currently selling out, because people already bought them for the holiday season. March timeframe would be a great time for an upgrade to this device. Let me know your thoughts down below. Would you be interested in an iPhone SE2 with a redesigned 4.4 to 4.5 inches, you know, A11 CPU, upgraded specifications? Let us know down below. And if you guys found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, enjoying, click that like button for me. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.